Have you ever felt the cold sting of a person who suddenly turns into a ghost? One day they are close, and the next they are miles away behind a wall of silence. You reach out, but they pull back. You try to love them, but your love feels like a threat to them. It is a hollow, lonely feeling that leaves you questioning your own worth. You wonder if you are not enough or if you are doing something wrong. But the truth is much deeper than that. This is the world of the avoidant. They are the ones who crave connection but are terrified of being trapped. They view intimacy as a cage. They see your affection as a weight that will eventually pull them under. Most people spend their entire lives trying to crack the code of an avoidant heart. They beg, they plead, and they chase until they are exhausted and broken. But there is a secret. There is a specific, rare type of person that an avoidant will never leave. A person who doesn't just survive their distance, but actually bridges it without saying a single word. Today, I am going to show you exactly who that person is and how you can become that rare force. If you stay with me until the very end of this video, I will share the one psychological switch you can flip tonight that stops the cycle of chasing forever. This isn't just about a relationship. It is about reclaiming your power and becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. To understand how to win, you must first understand the battlefield of the mind. An avoidant is not a villain. They are a survivor. Somewhere in their past, they learned that relying on others is dangerous. They learned that people are unpredictable and that the only person they can truly trust is themselves. When you get too close, their internal alarm system goes off. It screams danger, even when you are offering nothing but kindness. This is the invisible wall. It is built out of bricks of fear and cemented with the need for independence. You cannot break this wall down with a hammer. You cannot scream at it until it falls. In fact, the more you try to force your way in, the thicker the wall becomes. Every time you ask, "What's wrong?" or "Why are you being like this?" you are adding another layer of stone to that barrier. You are confirming their deepest fear, that you are a demand they cannot meet. You are a pressure they cannot handle. Most people fail because they react from a place of hunger. They are hungry for validation. They are hungry for safety. When the avoidant pulls away, the average person feels a void opening up in their chest. They panic. They start to move faster. They send more texts. They ask more questions. They try to fix the problem. But in human psychology, there is a law of pursuit and retreat. When one person moves forward with frantic energy, the other must move back to maintain their space. By chasing them, you are actually teaching them to run. You are becoming the predator and they are becoming the prey. This is the cycle that destroys souls. It burns out your energy and leaves you feeling worthless. But you are not worthless. You have simply been playing the game by the wrong rules. You have been trying to win a war of emotions using the weapons of desperation. The rare person we are talking about does something different. They understand that the wall is not a challenge to be conquered, but a boundary to be respected. They know that the avoidant mind is looking for a reason to leave, so they refuse to give them one. They stay grounded. They stay still. Imagine a wild animal in the woods. If you run toward it, it vanishes into the shadows. But if you sit quietly, if you show that you are not a threat, if you focus on your own presence, that animal eventually grows curious. It begins to creep closer. This is the first step in the psychological shift. You must stop being the one who needs and start being the one who provides a safe harbor. It requires a level of discipline that most people do not possess. It requires you to look at that invisible wall and say, "I am not afraid of your silence." This is where the deep motivation begins. To be the person an avoidant bonds with for life, you have to be stronger than your own anxiety. You have to be more committed to your own peace than you are to their attention. The avoidant is used to people falling apart when they pull away. They are used to being the center of someone else's universe. When they meet someone who stays centered in their own world, someone who doesn't shake when the wind blows, it creates a massive psychological shock. It disrupts their entire script. They expect you to chase, but you stay put. They expect you to cry, but you smile and go about your day. Suddenly, they aren't the one in control anymore. The power shifts. But it doesn't shift because you are playing games. It shifts because you have become a mountain. A mountain does not chase the clouds. It simply exists, massive and unmoving, until the clouds have no choice but to wrap around its peak. This section of our journey is about the preparation of the soul. You cannot attract a rare person until you become a rare person. You must understand that your value is not a variable that changes based on how much someone texts you back. Your value is a constant. It is a fact. The avoidant senses your energy before you ever speak. If your energy is "please love me," they will flee. If your energy is "I love myself and you are welcome to join me," they will stay. We are moving into the mechanics of the unshakable anchor. This is the person who understands the delicate dance of freedom and connection. They know that the only way to keep a bird is to keep the cage door wide open. It takes a warrior's heart to leave that door open when every part of you wants to lock it tight. But that is the price of a bond that lasts a lifetime. It is the price of becoming the one person they can never replace. As we go deeper, you will realize that this isn't just about saving a relationship. This is about saving yourself. It is about ending the years of feeling like an option and starting your life as a priority. You are about to learn the traits of the anchor. You are about to learn why silence is your greatest weapon and why your own purpose is your greatest shield. The avoidant is looking for someone who is not a burden. They are looking for someone who is a destination, a place where they can finally rest without being asked to change. If you can become that place of rest while maintaining your own fierce independence, you become the most valuable prize in their world. You become the exception to every rule they have ever made. You become the one they finally decide to trust with their life. Prepare your mind, because the shift starts now. When the silence begins to grow, your biology often betrays you. You feel a sharp surge of internal alarm. Your brain treats their sudden distance like a physical threat to your safety. This is the exact moment where the most dangerous trap is set. It is a psychological pitfall that almost everyone falls into. You feel a desperate need to bridge the gap. You think that if you could just say the right words, the distance would vanish. You believe that more communication is the solution to their lack of communication. But in this state of mind, you are acting from a place of pure fear. Fear is a loud, chaotic energy. It distorts your logic and makes you forget your own dignity. You begin to believe that your survival depends on their response. This is the first mistake. When you operate from a place of needing a result, you lose your internal center. You become a satellite orbiting their moods. You stop being the master of your own life and start being a servant to their shadows. The psychology of pursuit is fascinating and brutal. Every time you reach out during their withdrawal, you are sending a subtextual message. You are telling them that you cannot handle being alone. You are showing them that your peace is fragile. To someone who is wired to fear being controlled, this looks like a massive red flag. They do not see your pursuit as love. They see it as a demand. They see it as an emotional bill that they are not ready to pay. Imagine someone trying to give you a gift while you are struggling to breathe. No matter how beautiful the gift is, you will push it away because your priority is finding air. That is what your affection feels like to a person in retreat. It feels like an invasion of their space. It feels like you are trying to steal the very air they need to survive. The harder you try to show them how much you care, the more they feel like they are being hunted. This is the cycle of suffocation. You push because you are starving for connection. They run because they are drowning in your expectations. It is a tragic dance where both people are trying to protect themselves, but they are both causing the very thing they fear most. You fear abandonment, so you cling. They fear being overwhelmed, so they leave. Your pursuit actually justifies their decision to stay away. They tell themselves that they were right to be cautious. They look at your frantic messages and your repeated calls as proof that you are too much. You are accidentally confirming their worst bias. You are helping them build the case against you. Every time you give in to the urge to check on them, you are handing them another reason to keep the door locked. You must understand that in the world of high-stakes psychology, less is always more. The real tragedy is what happens to you during this process. You slowly begin to disappear. You spend hours analyzing every tiny detail of their past behavior. You scroll through old messages like a detective looking for clues to a crime. Your hobbies start to gather dust. Your friendships become secondary. Your own goals and dreams fade into the background. You have effectively put your entire existence on hold for someone who is currently choosing to exclude you. This is a massive loss of personal power. You are trading your gold for their copper. When you lose your self-respect, you lose your attractiveness. Humans are naturally drawn to those who have a strong sense of self. We are magnetically pulled toward people who are on a mission. But when you are in the chase mode, your only mission is them. That is a heavy burden for anyone to carry. It is not romantic, it is exhausting. To break this trap, you must perform a radical act of psychological defiance. You must choose to do nothing. This sounds simple, but it is the hardest thing you will ever do. It requires you to sit with your own anxiety and not let it drive your hands. It requires you to feel the burn of the silence and not try to extinguish it with a text. You have to realize that silence is not a void, it is a mirror. It shows you exactly where you are weak. It shows you exactly where you are dependent. Instead of trying to fix the other person, you must start fixing the leak in your own soul. You must reclaim the energy you have been throwing into the abyss. This is the moment where you decide that your time is too valuable to be spent waiting by a phone. You decide that your heart is too precious to be offered to someone who is currently walking away. When you stop the chase, something miraculous happens. The pressure in the relationship drops to zero. The prey no longer feels hunted. For the first time in a long time, the other person is forced to deal with their own silence. Without your frantic energy to push against, they have to face the vacuum they created. They begin to wonder why the pursuit has stopped. They start to question if they have lost their influence over you. This creates a shift in the power dynamic. By withdrawing your attention, you are making your attention valuable again. You are teaching them that your presence is a privilege, not a constant. You are showing them that you have the strength to walk alone if necessary. This is the only way to earn the respect of someone who is afraid of intimacy. Respect is the foundation of long-term bonding. Without respect, there can be no safety. This shift requires a warrior's mindset. You are training yourself to be comfortable in the unknown. Most people stay in toxic cycles because they are afraid of the dark. They would rather have a painful connection than no connection at all. But you are different. You are learning that the dark is where you find your true strength. You are building a fortress of self-reliance. You are proving to yourself that you are the source of your own happiness. This is the deep work of human psychology. It is about moving from an external locus of control to an internal one. When you are no longer trying to manage their emotions, you can finally start mastering your own. You are preparing yourself for the next stage of evolution. You are clearing the path for the type of bond that doesn't require chasing because it is built on a rock-solid foundation of mutual freedom. Your silence is not a game. It is a declaration of independence. It is the sound of you coming back to yourself. In this space of stillness, you gain clarity. You start to see the situation for what it really is, not what you hoped it would be. You realize that you cannot force a heart to open, but you can certainly make yourself a person worth opening up to. This isn't about manipulation. It is about total transformation. You are shedding the skin of the seeker and stepping into the role of the prize. You are learning that the most attractive thing in the world is a person who is perfectly okay without you. That realization is the ultimate psychological leverage. It is the only thing that can truly stop the run and start the bond. You are no longer part of the trap. You are the one who walked out of the cage. Now that you have stepped away from the frantic cycle of the chase, a new path begins to open. You are no longer the one who is begging for a seat at the table. You are building your own foundation. This leads us to the heart of the mystery. There is a specific kind of presence that acts as a magnet for a fearful heart. We call this person the unshakable anchor. While everyone else is a storm of needs and demands, the anchor is a point of total stability. To an avoidant who lives in a world of internal chaos and fear of being trapped, the anchor is the only person who feels like home. This person does not try to fix the avoidant. They do not try to change them or force them into a mold. The anchor simply exists as a solid reality. This is the rare type of human being that an avoidant will eventually choose to bond with for a lifetime. It is because the anchor offers the one thing the avoidant has never truly found: a safe place to be themselves without the fear of being swallowed whole. Being an anchor is not about being cold or distant. It is about a deep internal strength that says your peace is not for sale. Most people are like mirrors. They reflect the mood of the person in front of them. If the avoidant is distant, the partner becomes anxious. If the avoidant is warm, the partner becomes happy. This makes you unpredictable. This makes you another source of noise in their already loud mind. The anchor is different. The anchor is like the sun. The sun does not care if the clouds come or go. It continues to shine with the same intensity regardless of the weather. When you become the anchor, you stop reacting to the highs and lows of the other person. You remain steady. You remain kind. You remain focused on your own path. This consistency is incredibly rare in the world of dating. For an avoidant, consistency is the ultimate proof of safety. They begin to realize that you are not a puzzle to be solved or a fire to be put out. You are a mountain that provides shade. Psychology tells us that we are all looking for a secure base. For someone who fears intimacy, a secure base is a person who lets them come and go without penalty. Imagine a harbor. A ship leaves the harbor to explore the ocean because it knows the harbor will be there when it returns. If the harbor moved every time the ship sailed away, the ship would eventually get lost at sea. It would stop trusting the land. Many people try to punish an avoidant for needing space. They use guilt. They use anger. They use the silent treatment as a weapon. This only proves to the avoidant that intimacy is a trap. It confirms their fear that love is a series of obligations and punishments. The anchor does the opposite. When the avoidant needs to pull back, the anchor gives them the gift of space with a smile. There is no drama. There is no interrogation. The anchor simply continues to live a beautiful, vibrant life. This lack of pressure creates a massive psychological vacuum that eventually pulls the avoidant back in. This is where the magic happens. When the avoidant returns from their period of distance, they expect to find a partner who is angry or wounded. They expect a confrontation. Instead, they find the anchor exactly where they left them, thriving, happy, and welcoming. This is a shock to their system. It breaks their defense mechanisms. They realize that they don't have to perform for you. They don't have to manage your emotions for you. You have taken that burden off their shoulders by mastering yourself. In this space of total freedom, the avoidant finally feels the one thing they have been running from: a desire to belong. Because you are not trying to own them, they finally feel like they can give themselves to you. You have created a relationship where the doors are never locked, and because of that, they never feel the need to escape. To be the anchor, you must develop a level of self-assurance that borders on the superhuman. You have to believe in your own worth so deeply that no one's absence can diminish it. This is the ultimate motivational shift. You are no longer looking for someone to save you. You are the one who has saved yourself. You are the source of your own light. When you walk into a room, you aren't looking for who likes you. You are looking for who you like. This shift in perspective changes everything about your body language and your energy. The avoidant senses this. They sense that you are not a taker. You are a giver who has an infinite supply of strength because you generate it from within. You become a rare prize. In a world full of people who are desperate for connection, a person who is comfortable in their own skin is a miracle. The bond that forms between an avoidant and an anchor is unlike any other. It is built on a foundation of mutual respect for boundaries. The avoidant learns that they can trust you with their vulnerability because you have shown that you can handle your own. You become the one person they don't have to hide from. They start to share their fears. They start to share their dreams. They begin to realize that being with you doesn't mean losing themselves. It means becoming a better version of themselves. You provide the structure that allows them to finally stop running. You are the steady hand in the dark. You are the calm voice in the storm. This is not a role you play for a week or a month. This is a transformation of your entire character. You must understand that your strength is the greatest gift you can give to another person. By being unshakable, you give the other person permission to be stable too. You lead by example. You show them that love is not a battle of wills. It is a partnership of two whole individuals. The avoidant stays with the anchor for life, because the anchor is the only person who doesn't make them feel like a failure for being afraid. You acknowledge their fear, you respect their space, and you keep your own fire burning. This is the rare type of person who changes the world. This is the person who turns a temporary fling into a lifelong bond. It starts with your decision today to stop being a leaf in the wind and to start being the rock that the wind cannot move. Your power is waiting for you to claim it. The anchor is not born. The anchor is forged in the fire of self-discipline and deep, quiet love. Become that force, and you will never have to chase again. This final transformation requires more than just a change in your behavior. It requires a total reconstruction of your identity. You cannot merely act like a pillar of strength while your heart is still trembling with the fear of being left behind. The avoidant mind is a master of reading energy. They have spent their entire lives scanning for signs of pressure or hidden agendas. If you are using silence as a tactic to get them back, they will feel it. They will sense the invisible threads of your expectation pulling at them. To truly bond with a person who fears connection, you must reach a point where you genuinely do not need the bond to survive. This is the ultimate paradox of human psychology. You become most attractive when you are truly willing to walk away. This is not about being cold. It is about being whole. You must stop looking for another person to be the solution to your internal puzzles. You are the answer. You are the destination. True power comes from building an internal empire that no one can shake. Most people build their happiness on the shifting sands of other people's opinions. When someone loves them, they feel like kings. When someone pulls away, they feel like beggars. This is a life of constant instability. You must decide today that you are no longer a beggar for attention. You are the ruler of your own emotional state. This starts by finding a mission that is bigger than any relationship. What is the one thing you were put on this earth to do? What is the dream you have been ignoring while you were busy chasing ghosts? When you find your purpose, your energy changes. You move with a different kind of gravity. You become a person of substance. A person with a mission doesn't have time to wait by the phone. A person with a vision doesn't fall apart because of a delayed text. This is the vibration that attracts an avoidant for life. They see someone who is going somewhere, and they naturally want to come along for the ride. I promised you a psychological switch that changes everything. Here it is. The switch is the transition from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Most people approach love like there's only one loaf of bread in the world, and they are starving. They cling to every crumb. They panic when the bread is taken away. This scarcity creates a vibe of desperation that drives people away. To flip the switch, you must realize that you are the baker. You are the source. Your love, your time, and your energy are infinite resources because they come from within you. When you live in abundance, you don't care if someone takes a piece or leaves it. You know there is always more. This shift in perspective removes all the neediness from your soul. It makes you a force of nature. When an avoidant sees that you are a source of endless light and that you don't need them to keep your fire burning, their fear of being a burden disappears. They stop feeling like they have to fill you up, and they start feeling like they can simply enjoy your warmth. This is the secret to a lifelong bond. It is not about keeping someone. It is about becoming someone that nobody wants to lose. You must invest in yourself with a ferocity that scares people. Work on your body, sharpen your mind, grow your wealth, master your craft. Build a life that is so beautiful and so exciting that you are actually happy to be alone in it. This is the final threshold of maturity. When you reach this stage, you no longer see the avoidant as a problem to be solved. You see them as a person who is on their own journey. You have compassion for their fears, but you do not let their fears dictate your reality. You become the lighthouse. The lighthouse does not run all over the beach looking for boats to save. It just stands there, shining its light. The boats that want to stay safe find their way to the lighthouse. The ones that don't sail on. Either way, the lighthouse remains. It is beautiful, it is strong, and it is never lonely. To master your own mind, you must kill the version of yourself that lives for validation. That person is dead. In their place stands a warrior of the spirit. You must practice the art of radical self-acceptance. Every time you feel the urge to seek approval, turn inward and give it to yourself. Tell yourself the words you are waiting to hear from them. Be the protector you are looking for. Be the lover you are craving. When you fill your own cup until it overflows, you become magnetic on a level that most people will never understand. You are no longer playing the game of high school romance. You are playing the game of soul-level connection. An avoidant has spent their life looking for a reason to run. When they find someone who is a solid, radiant, and independent force of life, they finally run out of reasons to leave. They have found the one person who is not a trap. They have found a person who is a mirror of their own potential. This is the end of the struggle. This is the beginning of your true life. The moment you stop trying to control the outcome is the moment you gain control of your destiny. Stop asking why they are the way they are. Start asking who you are going to become. The journey of the anchor is the journey of the hero. It is the path of the person who refused to be broken by silence. It is the path of the one who used the coldness of others to ignite their own internal sun. You are that person. The strength you have been looking for in them is already inside you, waiting to be claimed. Take it, own it, live it. When you walk with this level of certainty, the world bows to you. The people you love will feel your strength and they will naturally want to lean on it. You don't have to convince anyone to stay. Your presence will do the work for you. As you close this chapter and move forward, remember that your ultimate reward is not the person. The reward is the version of yourself you had to become to win the person. You have gained a peace that cannot be stolen. You have built a fortress that cannot be breached. This is the true meaning of bonding for life. It is not two broken people trying to fix each other. It is two whole people deciding to walk the same path. You have done the work. You have mastered the silence. You have flipped the switch. Now go out and live a life so big and so powerful that connection becomes an inevitable result of your existence. The game is over. You have already won, because even if they never walk through that door, you have finally found the one person you were truly searching for, yourself. You are home. You are safe. You are powerful beyond measure. Now go and shine your light on the world.